Today on the Topping Show, Bud Light Eagles tweet has a little bit of a broken wing. Vivek American Dream goes viral. Chicago mayor wants the government to run grocery stores. DeSantis uses a clip of the Daily Wire of Trump appearing to hesitate when asked, "Can a man be a woman? Is it disinformation? You decide." Disney to invest $60 billion in theme parks and cruises. Twitter X might charge for users, all of them. Crayola, yes, the crayon company, is now attempting to sell flowers. Instacart has their IPO launched. Target to hire 100,000 holiday workers, and Clorox suffered a cybersecurity attack, which may lead to a little bit of a kneecap in the supply chain. All that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founders twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner and need a little assistance, reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, we're giving away a free flamethrower with every September purchase. Go to toppingtechnologies.com to learn a little bit more. And yes, you can mount it to an AR-15, as all awesome accessories can be. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you can click that button, we would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have X Twitter. Well, they might just charge everyone for using the platform. Now, Elon's had these issues for probably about a year now, where there's two issues really. One, the platform still not making a profit. Two, well, it looks like there is still a myriad of bots, like armies upon armies upon armies of bots. Now, it looks like there's apparently 550 million actively monthly users of the platform, and even more astonishingly, it looks like they generate up to 200 million posts per day, which sounds crazy, but at the same time, I tend to believe, given how most people who use Twitter are very similar to alcohol sales, it seems like you have an 80-20% principle, where 20% of the people will consume 80% of the product. And I can't help but think on Twitter, maybe it's even a smaller percentage of people, but the people who tweet, they tweet. I mean, you look at someone like Jordan Peterson, who I respect on a philosophical level, he tweets like a Twitter addict. That seems to be a big hobby of his. We're talking about one person sending thousands upon thousands and thousands of tweets. And now that I think about it, I have to look him up. He sent out 44.5 thousand tweets. One man. That's literally tweets upon tweets a day. And I would argue most of these things on Twitter are a time sink, although except with awesome content you can find at NICTOPPING or at The Topping Show, both awesome Twitter handles, of course. But it's one of those issues where the bots are still there. Elon thought he could buy the company, he could purge them using magic and technology, which, depending on how you describe it to people, it's almost one of the same these days. But it's one of those instances where bots, they cost about a fraction of a dollar. Apparently, there are some people that could buy them for a couple cents a piece. And because you can just easily automate the task, you can have whole armies of bots, because it's not cost prohibitive. Now, Elon's thought, and again, it's a very fluid situation. One of the things that's interesting about X and Twitter is, unlike a traditional business where you have, quarterly updates and they'll tell the public about certain things that are happening, and it's very structured, he's much more off the cuff, as some might say. So he's thinking about this, and for all we know, he's going to pass this rule tomorrow, or maybe he'll walk it back. But his idea right now is that we're going to have everyone pay something. So right now, if you're a fancy and accomplished person like me, you can afford $8 a month, not humble brag right there, to pay for Twitter Blue. And in theory, you do see less ads and people are supposed to see your tweets more. I don't know about the latter, but there are certainly a little bit less ads when I'm going between my business profile and my personal profile. And that is certainly a value add. However, the issue was when Elon came out with the Twitter Blue idea, which, interestingly enough, every other social media company mocked him for that. They said it would never work. And of course, then they copied him, because now you could pay for a premium, I think, Snapchat as well as Facebook and Instagram, where we have similar features. You get the fancy little blue authorization check that makes you look official. And you also, in theory, get less ads and more people to see your actual tweets and your post. So that's pretty revolutionary. However, I don't think enough people sign up for it to maintain profitability. Now, the issue is these two groups of people have very different things. You have the ad agencies and you have the people. traditionally, most of the people, well, I should specify, people who value American, people actually believe in American values. I know, unfortunately, there's far too few of us these days, but those people want more free speech. They believe everyone should have the ability to tweet, whether you're Alex Jones or Obama. They want everyone to have equality. Now, Alex Jones, I think, is the perfect litmus test. If you don't believe he deserves free speech, I wouldn't consider you to be an American. While I don't agree with many of the things he says, although it is concerning when more of the conspiracy theories turn out to be true, it's one of those instances where people who truly believe in free speech, they're all of the mindset of, I may not agree with what you're saying, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it. To me, that's the embodiment of American values. And I believe everyone should have that thought because, again, everyone has the ability and should have the freedom for free speech. Unfortunately, advertisers, they don't like that. They especially like to discriminate against people in the middle and more politically on the right side of the political aisle. So that means the advertisers, again, Elon had the Twitter Blue, they're still losing money. He said they're close to breaking even. But he has investors, it's not just him, the public company. So you also have these third parties, you have a couple of financial institutions, they chipped into money, they want to make some cash on it. So now he has to appease the advertisers, which inherently means there'll be ever-increasing censorship, and we've seen this more and more. Now, his idea is maybe it'll be $1 or $2. And this will help them not just make money, but it'll decrease the bots. Because after a certain price point, it's not economical to have an army of bots. Presumably, it's a profitable venture now because it costs, just a few pennies apparently. But even if it costs a couple of dollars, in the aggregate, if you're getting armies of these bots, well, the three-letter acronyms that the government might just have to swipe the credit card one too many times. They might not want to do that, maybe. In terms of people who are probably buying armies of, bots on the Twitter. But it's one of those things where the downside is the audience is going to shrink. If he does this rule, there's going to be a lot of attrition. A lot of people are not going to want to pay for it. It's one of those fantastically fascinating things where everyone will do something for free. A lot of people will participate in an activity or they'll go use their social media or product if it's free. As soon as it costs something, even if it's just $1, it's going to be too much of a burden for them. For some people, that's just a little modicum of effort to enter that credit card in is too much. They just won't do it. That's why when you go to the App Store on the iPhone and the Android-based phones, you go to the apps, they're all free. Well, not really, you pay for them with your data, but most of them are free. As soon as it goes to just 99 cents, less people will adopt that technology because it's a barrier to entry. Albeit a relatively small physical one, it's introducing friction into the experience of signing on and adopting that new platform and this new app. So let me know in the comments, what do you think the percentage would be if he goes to this idea? The percentage of decrease would be 5%, 10%, maybe 20%. It's definitely not going to be zero. And then the upside would be, the good part would be, there'd be less bots. So how much will this decrease on the number of bots on the platform? That would be great. Now, that's another hard question to ask is how many bots are there really? There's a lot of uncertainty. No one really knows. Another pretty big issue. So I think it's a good idea because it will definitely get rid of the bots and it would get rid of a lot of the unsavory activity on Twitter because it would be inherently less profitable for them, but it would shrink the audience. Now, we have reached a pivotal point in social media where it used to be back in the day when basically the banks gave cash away for free, 0% interest rates. This is one of those things where the success of an app or social media company was strictly basically measured by number of users. Active users is all they cared about. Which is why the previous owners of Twitter, there wasn't really much of an incentive to crack down on the bots because it made the company look bigger on paper. So the incentive structure wasn't quite right. Now, these companies, it's a tight economy, 40-year hyperinflation, cash is no longer free. So a lot of these companies, a lot of the investors are starting to wonder, well, great, you have a lot of users. How many users or how many transactions is it going to take to make it profitable? That's a real hard question that they're starting to ask. So let me know in the comments, do you think how many percentage points will it drop? 10, 20%? Let me know, but I can't help but think it's going to be significant. It's going to be double digits will drop from using the platform, I believe. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to tune in. I know it's ambitious trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September, so if you could click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your families, tell your coworkers, tell your enemies, heck, tell anyone and everyone, just stay safe and fight the good fight.